live.
We are live.
Hey, everybody. Everybody's on YouTube and Facebook. I'm Charlie, Cooking Secrets for Men. And my guest today for our little live chat is George, 805 BBQ Junkie. George, thanks a lot. This was originally Ron on the Grill was going to do it, but he's got to work. Had a work conflict, so we're going to reschedule Ron for a later date. And George was kind enough to slide in and chat with me. So we'll probably be here for an hour or so, just chit-chatting about this, that, and the other thing. George, I'm going to read your the line off of your about or objectives. This is my passion, not just barbecue, but also cooking in the kitchen. And having watched your videos over the last couple of years, that is one of the things that I think is really interesting, is that you're not just a barbecue guy out there, 9 hours of smoking whatever. No, you're actually cooking. You're in the kitchen. You're doing different things. There's
absolutely.
I got a couple of my favorites that I wrote down. We'll get to eventually. So, when you started doing this, how did you start? Did you just decide, hey, I'm beautiful and I should be on camera, or how
did YouTube start for me? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, how did you start?
How did I start cooking?
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. Where did you start? Where did you start cooking?
Well, my grandfather. I was in diapers, I want to say. I would watch my grandfather cook all the time. See, I didn't have a father. I did, but he wasn't in the picture. So my grandfather is my father. And I would watch him barbecue on Fridays, on the weekends. And his favorite was ribeye steak or ranchera, which is flat meat. And he would teach me how to barbecue. So it all took off from there. And I would come home from school and thinking I was a master chef. I would make dinner for the family. And everybody would say, oh, you're pretty good, but you're not that good, So it grew from there, just cooking. And when I left my grandfather's house, hooked up with my wife of 25 years of marriage, I was the cook in the house. So I cooked everything for all of us, And it just took off, We bought our first house. Didn't have, we had finances to meet the mortgage, but we needed extra. So I decided to get a taco cart and work myself up. Eventually, I opened up my own business. I had 10 people working for me. I did it 10 plus years, doing the taco business. Great income. We're talking 50K under the table, if you will, But eventually that got old.
So is the statute of limitations over for not declaring income?
Well, you know what? I was legal for the first 5 years of my business. I was paying taxes. I was paying a lot of taxes. And then the last 5 years, I said, forget about it. I'm doing cash only. So it is what it is, Well,
good. So it sounds like you were grilling and barbecuing.
Oh yeah, for a long time.
But then somehow you got into the kitchen because you've done plenty of actual cooking outside of just standing over a grill.
Yeah. If it wasn't my taco car, I was cooking tri-tip sandwiches, 4:00 in the morning, selling tri-tip sandwiches. You know what I mean? Lance still farting around.
So we should explain to everybody the hour there was a pre-show on Lance's channel, which is Sleeper BBQ.
That's right.
And they're having a giveaway for I would call them golf towels, but the barbecue people call them barbecue side towels or something. So they're trying to figure out in some form. It's akin to it's a combination of AP Calculus and AP Physics, where they're trying to figure out how to pick 5 numbers out of a hat. So eventually, Lance will be over here to explain how that's going, and then announce winners. So we'll.
And I appreciate everybody that came over to support Charlie's channel. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and for all you think that this is some sort of interview, this is just me and George chatting. We're just, the reason I'm doing these one-on-one live chats is actually I borrowed this this concept from Tom Garvey, the keto cook.
Right.
You said you just want to do one-on-ones with people, and I said, that makes a lot of sense to me. You get to know someone a little bit better. So that's why I've done this with the Dude, and Tom Garvey's been on, Keto Mike, Ginger from
Black Iowa as well, right? Last week.
Yeah, Black Iowa.
Yeah, he's cool, man.
A bunch of people. So it's just people that I've gotten to know over time through YouTube, and then I want to get to know a little bit better. So we're just hanging out and chatting.
Yeah.
What part of where are you? You're out in California?
California.
What part?
South.
Like San Diego north. South?
Well, no, it's south. Because up north is San Francisco, the Bay Area.
Right.
So I'm in between. You ever heard of Malibu?
Sure.
Or Beverly Hills?
No, I've never heard of Malibu.
A lot of people don't know. I'm in between them,
Between Malibu and
let me see. I'm an hour away from LA.
Okay. South.
All
right. So
going towards Frisco, if you will. I'm like 3 hours away from Santa Maria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in San Diego a couple of years ago for Christmas. We spent a week out there, and we took the train up the coast.
Nice.
Stopped at Oceanside. It's not too. It's an easy train ride from San Diego down or up to LA.
Yeah.
I do that again. I'm trying to get my son to go to some ball games.
Yeah, San Diego is beautiful. That's for sure.
There's a reason people want to live there. Like 75 and sunny year round. They do have 4 or 5 days of rain, I understand. Are you currently working? I know you said you had a.
No, I go back to work in 3 weeks. So prior to YouTube, I worked 60 to 80 hours per week. My job is very demanding.
What do you do?
So that's how I got started on YouTube, because I didn't want to just lay around and do nothing.
Sure.
So I thought to myself, why not create a YouTube channel, since I've been cooking all these years? Let's go with that. In the beginning, it was just a joke for me. It was just something to do, But now that's
how we all started.
Yeah, I got monetized. I'm getting a little kickback there, Got a free Z grill, a lot of rubs, knives, all kinds of crazy stuff I got already from the channel. And it's cool. And not only that, the best part for me is the people that I've met on YouTube. Because I had my friends here, from work or relatives or whatnot. But I got to be honest with you, the YouTube community, I'm much closer to them than my old friends. Like, I get to interact with everybody, like Scotty or Troy, Simon, Alvin, everybody that's in here, It's just a great, great community, man. I'm blown away. Yeah, there's drama here and there, but it ain't no big deal. We'll get through it. But,
I agree. I mean, that's part of what I like about it too. There's just people that you get. I wouldn't say close to, but you certainly get to know better than others, and they become more friendly, and they become more. Someone you can count on to you be positive, to give you some feedback. There's a couple people that and there's next week's guest in the kitchen with Karen. We're gonna be chatting with Karen next week, but it's just I like the people that I've met. I've learned a lot.
Absolutely.
People like I want to say Tom Garvey, the Dude, for sure. People like that have given me a lot of they've helped, they've taught, they've tried to give you tips. And as I've said many times, we're not competitors. We're not competitors. We're not competing for anything. We're an island off to ourselves.
Unless you challenge me to a collab. Then maybe it's a challenge.
That's all in fun. Some of the collabs I've done, especially with like Black Iowa, we just crack each other up trying to do these things. John Shields is another one, cooking around the world. I agree with you 100%. It's a great community. you meet a lot of nice people along the way. There are some douches that,
right.
But that's kind of like it is in life. So, and you get closer to the people who are fun to be around. I mean, you're a good friend with somebody when they start making jokes with all your videos.
Yeah.
So, oh, that was funny. And then they say something like, I thought you weren't supposed to put Parmesan on seafood, and everything is joking around, but it's jocularity, as they used to say on MASH. But it's a great community. So I'm happy to be doing it.
I'm excited. That's why I want to give back. I mean, like I said, I wish I can get a towel to every single person, but the budget just doesn't. It's not there. Maybe when I get back to work, it'll be different. But
all right. Well, George just said he only likes a handful of you, so that's all. Those are the only people getting the towels. So it's rigged. I want to tell you right now.
It's rigged.
Favorite people. He's getting them.
I'm not there, guys.
That's what
it on them.
Marie's saying Tom's still helping Lance figure it out. What time is it? It's 15, 20 minutes later. It is higher math. So Lance lives down in talking about Lance at Sleeper BBQ, who's at some point will pop on with the winners of the giveaway of the golf/barbecue towels. Lance lives in St. Mary's County down in southern Maryland. And he was describing it, and I would agree with him. It's a beautiful country, lots of everything, including a lot of waterfront. And one of the things we used to do is go crabbing. We had a little, we lived in this inlet cove. We lived off Coons Creek. And there's probably 15 houses around us. And on one side was Mr. Brown, and the other 13 houses were all named Tibbet. We saw Mr. Tibbet, the patriarch, lived next door, and then there's Mr. Tibbet, and they're all crabbers, all crabbing up and down. But my grandmother used to take us over to Mr. Tibbet Senior and go into the crab pots that he had, and my grandma said, "Okay, pick out your dinner." And I said, "Oh, I want that one right there." And then Mr. Tibbet would smack it up with his net and put it in a pail for my grandmother, and she'd take us back up to the house. No problem, Marie. And then she usually, this was during soft shell season too, because the soft shells in the there's 6 weeks in the summer where you can get them, and if you're on Chesapeake Bay, it's a lot easier. But that was just in the summer, and I didn't live there.
When you say soft crab, is that because you can eat the whole crab or what?
Oh, yeah, soft shells, you ate the whole thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Soft shell is it's when it molts and it sheds its skin, and the entire crab is edible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's one of the...
Yeah, I don't know much about seafood, to be honest with you. And the coast is just like freaking half hour away from me, man. I really don't like...
you look at blue crabs out there. Blue crabs are pretty much Atlantic, East Coast, and it's where the way that Maryland goes. Maryland kind of goes out and then down. There's a couple peninsulas, and then it's where Chesapeake Bay goes up in. That's where a lot of the crabbing is, which is it's a great place to go to get crabs. But Lance's thing was, we live in St. Mary's County, so not really. And back when I was there was it was pretty much dirt roads. There was one, you can't even call it a five and dime, and it was probably the pre to a convenience store. For those things, if you ever watched any shows where they're driving down a dusty road and then there's a little gas station / market, well, that was Don's that we could walk to, and it was looked like it was something out of the 50s. And then you'd go into the big town, which was Leonardtown, which was anyway. All right, so we're getting off topic. When I think back to my when I think back to when I started YouTube, my videos were horrible. I mean, just
tell me about it.
Yeah. So
I'm the same way.
Did you have any big blunders or things you said, "Oh, that's horrible. Why did I do that?"
Not well. I show a lot of my failures on my videos.
You show a lot of what?
A lot of my failed videos.
Yeah.
I still put them out. I don't care. I want to be as real I can be. I don't want to be fake.
Well, I've seen your blooper reels too. There's
yeah. It's
that's
the real thing.
People who put bloopers out.
Yeah, that bloopers video. I spilled milk and I put the little whip sign. Because if my wife seen that, she would have freaking killed me. I mean, my channel, I try to be me and not fake anything. I know I don't have the right words to say when I'm doing my videos. My channel is more of like, I'm going to show you the way I'm going to show you. If you get it, you get it. And if you don't, you don't. I mean, if you can drop the comment, if I can answer it, I'll answer it. I'm not a guy that's going to dissect whatever I'm doing, the dictionary or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just who I am, and it is what it is,
So where did the name come from? 805 BBQ Junkies.
805 is my area code.
Okay.
So 805 here, let me see, I got a hat that says 805 on it. 805 is more of a
do you have any towels?
It's an area code. It's more of a where I belong, where I came from, if you will. That's what 805 reps,
Okay. Do you have any towels that have your logo?
No, I did have a bunch of tattoos that had the 805, but I covered up all that stuff, So yeah, I'm not going too deep. 805 is 805. If you guys look up on the internet, I'll show you exactly what 805 is.
Okay.
I just got to rock what I rock. You know what I mean? So
sure.
And then the BBQ Junkie. Well, I'm a junkie when it comes down to barbecue.
So that's your home area. Your home base is from there where you grew up, and you
805. Yeah, Ventura County is 805. Have you heard the beer 805?
Sure.
The beer. Yeah. So the same thing.
Cool.
So,
so one of the things that I like about your channel, and I don't know if this is recent. I know that I've noticed it recently, but I think somewhere in the last 6 months, you went to eating at the beginning of the video, then doing the video, and then coming back at the end, and I guess finishing the plate. So I think that somebody made the comment to me one time, don't you think you should eat what you're making just to show that, it's not poison? But I mean, so I think a lot of people have picked up on that, and I certainly noticed it on your channel. So is that something
I blame that on analytics. On the what?
Is that something conscious you decided to do, or is just
no, that's analytics.
You messed up the order of the editing, and it came out.
No, that was purposely done because, like I said, I wasn't taking YouTube serious, but I do now. So I read the analytics. Analytics shows me everybody's watching pretty straight, right? Let me see, pretty straight, and when it comes down to my eating, it just drops. Like nobody can give a rat's or 2 cents about what I eat, So if I show it in the beginning of the video, they're forced to watch it. You know what I mean? So I'll do a little quick taste, and it's just what the analytics shows me. So now it shows it's all the way to the end. And then at the end, I just do a very small taste test.
Right.
And it just drops. So more views equal money. Put it that way. Not subscribers.
I never thought of it that way, but that is... You mean people don't want to hear the words of wisdom at the end of your video?
Yeah, they don't care. They don't. For me, I love watching the whole entire video, all of it, because I pick up a lot of stuff from different channels.
I tell you who and he's on right now, but Tom Garvey, when he's like become the king of shorts.
Right. I know. Tell me about it.
But when he does a long video, I'm glued.
Me too.
The whole way through, I'm listening the whole way because you pick up things. I don't want to pick up his accent, Jersey accent. But in terms of his thinking and how he puts things together and how the product is at the end or the result is at the end, to me I don't care if it's a 25-minute video. I'm watching the whole
watch
thing.
It. I will watch it. I pick up a lot of ideas from you guys. You know how I don't know, one of your videos, when people say ricotta, it's not the cheese ricotta. It's actually said ricotta, right?
See?
Yeah. Okay. I picked that up. So I was like, because one time I said it ricotta, and I was like, well, he said it ricotta, almost like in Spanish, right? And I was like, well, it's ricotta cheese. So I pick up, different pointers from different people.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a friend that says, because people sometimes say ricotta cheese, and says ricotta. That's a boat race. That's not ricotta. It's ricotta.
Exactly.
So I took Spanish in high school and grade school and high school, right. And then I've learned Italian in my adult years. I speak decent Italian, but there are times when the two just kind of come together, especially when I'm counting.
Yeah.
Uno, dos. No, it's not uno. Un, due, tre. I get confused. I get into my.
It's pretty similar because I've heard French people speak on YouTube. I go, shit, man, that sounds so close to Spanish,
Well, French, Italian, and Spanish are all Romance languages, and there's a lot of similarities in them. And the only true Spanish sayings that I remember from my high school years are "Dos cervezas, por favor," and "Donde está el baño?"
That's all you need to know.
That's right. What else? But that was like 8 years of Spanish. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
So, are you a one-man crew when you're doing your videos? I'm
a one-man crew.
You're the director. You're the talent. You're the editor.
Everything. Yeah, I'm one-man crew. How can I tell you? When I first came into YouTube, I didn't know anything about cameras, editing. Mind you, I went to high school for 2 weeks before I got expelled for beating up my principal, but he had it coming. So at a very young age, I went to go work. I wasn't educated, if you will, but I was always the type of guy, I would find a way to educate myself. I didn't care what it was. I would go feet first or head in first. Oh, you got the 5 winners right on. So when it came down to the camera, to the editing software, all that crazy jazz, I figured it out. And I'm still figuring it out, So I'm a one-man show, most definitely. You got to plan everything. It takes me 2 to 3 days to plan one video.
I'm trying to get Lance, send him an invite.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so I don't know about you guys. What's up, Trumpet? Barbecue Bandit, Simon, everybody that's in the chat. What's up, guys? Gracias. I know you guys have been chatting away.
Oh, you know what? He's on the shoot. Let me do this. Isn't this riveting? Let me go. He's on my other Lance. There he is.
Oh, I got a text.
I got 2 emails, and one is automatic.
Wow, 30 people in the chat. Shoo! Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
All right, Lance just sent you a link. Go ahead and pop on when you can.
What's up, Trumpet?
All right.
You know what, Jorge? I noticed you don't have nobody that has a wrench in your channel, right? On the
I gotta go over to YouTube and do that. So I'll do that right this second.
You can give someone a wrench. I don't know, whoever you want to pick. They can drop links. Whatever you want. or drop your
I can
link
do
or
that.
whatnot. You have Nightbot set up or not yet?
I'm so far behind knowing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, got you.
That's Tom Garvey's my guy in terms of technical assistance. So
Okay.
I'm hurting.
16
so
likes.
I have
on,
to
guys. I need to put a like as well.
Well, Meg has the wrench.
Okay.
Let me give Scotty.
Trumpet asked, "What did I miss? What have you missed?" We're doing the giveaway
Nothing.
of some towels. Go ahead, Charlie.
We haven't missed anything.
Yeah, we're on Sleepers Live a little while ago, giving away some towels, and we really winners here. Steven, what's up, my brother?
There's Lance.
I got a big heart on my thing. Oh, check that out.
Hey,
there he is.
What's up, lover boy?
We're definitely got to do
it. This is Lance from.
See, there you go. Look, sporting
Lance. So Lance had the hour before here. Lance was on up. There you go. That's a nice looking apron you got there. Lance had a pre-show. He was for those of you old enough, he's Ed McMahon warming up for Johnny Carson. And he had a giveaway where they're giving away some golf towels or barbecue towels, whichever, if you don't have a grill, so fit nicely on your golf bag. So Lance, take it away.
So we finally selected our 5 winners. We need to be a little more, we like doing things old school. I mean, the spinning of the wheel and the horse races and all that are fun. Don't get me wrong. We enjoy them. But I think a lot of people got a laugh out of this too, the way we chose to pick the names, but we can still tweak that a little bit. So we have 5 winners. And who's the one you think is going to win most of all out of the group of, 29 I hear, 30 people viewing? We know he always wins. George, you know the answer to that question.
Troy? Did Troy win?
Troy V. Yep, Troy V won one. We have B&C Gardening. They also won. We have Beth Cornett. She won. We have Daniel with Barbacoa Bandits.
Right on.
He won. Be proud of this. That's just gonna be proud of this. You're not kidding. Barbecue. And we got Terry Madwood. He won.
Ooh, good winner. Good winners.
Look at there. Lance, type them in if you can in the chat.
I can't. It won't let me I get on my phone. That's why I hate StreamYard. I can't type. I can't send a message from my screen. I have to go on my phone and add them.
All right. Well, there's Madwood.
Madwood, Barbacoa Bandits.
Never wins anything. You can take that never and said you always win.
Yep.
Madwood.
Is Terry still here?
Sorry. You have to talk to Lance in his old school hat.
No recounts, please. Are you you're not? I thought you were putting them in the chat.
Please.
Okay.
George, did you leave us, or you just putting on your logo?
No,
there
I had to shut my dog up.
No, you can't say it that way.
Why not?
Because if you shut your dog up, that means you do.
He's downstairs. My dog barks at everybody, so I close the windows.
The dog down. Look at this.
I said, "Boy,
you shouldn't silence him."
Give me one quick second.
So George, one thing you mentioned is you're not on any other social media.
No, negative. No social media. No drama for me. Just YouTube.
Well, I'm on all of them, but Facebook used to be the place where idiots would go to argue with idiots about politics for the most part. And you just, I grew up in Washington, D.C., and one thing you learn is half the people are always right and half the people are always wrong, depending on which side of the aisle you're on. And you can't convince the other side that they're wrong, and you can't convince them that you're right. And so I, a long time ago, got out of the political BS of Facebook, and now it's all cooking stuff, some sports. I am a sports guy. And then, if I see something interesting, some restaurant opens or closes, about that stuff. So are you a sports guy at all?
No, sir.
No sports?
No sports, but I do rock the Raiders, only because my daughter's been buying hats. As far as I can remember, she's been buying me the Raider hats. She's
the Vegas Raiders now. That's Tom Garvey's home team.
Oh, Raiders? Oh, yeah, because they moved to Vegas. But my daughter's the biggest fan ever. My brother's Cowboys. I think
Cowboys.
My brother's the only one is Cowboys. No, my aunt's Cowboys. And everybody else.
Mike's here. Mike, welcome. Glad to see you. Mike did not win anything. Mike, you didn't miss anything. You did not win.
I understand completely, Tom. I understand completely. That was a brain wrecker. So, Charlie, can I just have a one moment, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go for it.
Put this to end. I can tell you I have Troy V's address. I have Barbara Code's address. I have Madwood's address. B&C Gardening, if you would look at my, I tell you what, I'll make it simpler. I'm going to post my email. If y'all could reply with your emails, to the email rather, with your shipping address, I'd much appreciate it. And don't expect these things to be there tomorrow. They have to be embroidered. And I have some orders ahead of this yet. So we will.
Thursday, Lance? Thursday, Friday?
Before what?
Well, when they get it.
Oh, no, indeed. I'm hope to ship them out by Thursday or Friday.
He still has to do like 5 or 7 hats of mine.
Got hats. I've got beanies orders to complete yet. I've still got orders here that I have to complete before I jump on these. But they will probably go out by the end of this week.
Don't rush them because I still got to pay.
So there's my email address. If you would please reply to that email address with your shipping address, except for, well, really, B&C Gardening, I'm going to need your mailing address. And Beth, I'm going to need your mailing address. And God, I hope, please don't tell me you're in the Netherlands or something like that.
I hope not.
So one thing I wanted to talk to George about when we get there, but Lance, you're on now. Why don't you guys talk about Goodfellas and the the various chats that go on and some of that stuff, because I know that I've popped on here and there along the way. So tell them what the schedule is and when you get together and.
Hey, Loverboy, what a great topic.
That's
up in the air right now, guys.
Yeah,
is it?
Yeah, Sundays is the day for the lives. I would say, we talked about this last night actually, that Goodfellas has plans on to combine our resources, keeping our own channels, but combining in the Goodfellas into one, and that we're going to do things in the future. We talked about maybe approaching one of the other channels to talk about doing something with YouTube. We talked about doing a picture thing. We were hoping that eventually Goodfellas would have enough money in its account through what do you call those, super chats, that we could do purchase something between the three of us and have a giveaway. but I don't know if we're all on the same page anymore. So that is yet to be determined since last night. Things may have changed. So we will see. We're going to try and get this worked out. Charlie, you couldn't have picked a worse subject, my friend, because I'm sort of kind of in a spot. I know it. Nope, there was no rules laid before this went live, but
I remember seeing it on, I think it was on Facebook or someplace where coming soon, blah blah blah, and anyway, okay, well then, never mind then. So just rewind the last 5 minutes and just forget we said this.
Okay. He's on 24/7. Who? Oh, must be me. Yeah, I'm on there a lot. I'm trying to get my hours up for my monetization. I'm real close. Real close.
All right. Well, this truer words were never spoken by Tom Garvey.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. Gotta talk to my wife.
And he's not talking about being on YouTube. Mr. Jersey. I know that for sure. So George, are you with me? Are you George?
I don't know if he muted. He's talking to his wife. His wife has been in and out of the hospital a little bit, Charlie, so he might be dealing with some of that stuff.
Well, I'll talk to Lance.
Sure. I'm almost an open book.
So Lance, I was telling George that I know we have this commonality of St. Mary's County,
right.
But I actually never really lived there. I went there in the summers.
Right.
We lived there, we had a summer place there up in Coons Creek, off Breton Bay. But we was telling stories about going next door and to Mr. Tibbet's house, because one of 15 Tibbets that lived on our little cove.
Oh, no. That area down there saturated with family or county names.
Oh yeah. And it was we'd go pick out crabs, especially in soft shell season. You go down and pick out, and George was asking, would he eat the whole thing? I said, oh, soft shells, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was saying earlier, I don't like seafood. I like ceviche.
Well, George, I hate to tell you, but that is seafood.
That's what I'm trying to say. I love seafood, but I mean,
certain kinds.
It's all right. Lobster, I can care less. Ceviche, on the other hand, all day long, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's a combination of spice, texture, and the citrus. I mean, you put the citrus in there, which kind of binds, it cooks the fish and the seafood, and then you've got peppers and cilantro, and it just ceviche is great. But yeah, I mean, you live on the West Coast and you don't like seafood. Shit, I
don't care for fish. I mean, I grew up on it. I grew up on trout. Tilapia. I can care less for just fish sticks.
I'm
more ceviche or tostadas de camarón, shrimp cocktail, that type of seafood.
Sure.
Octopus, I love octopus unless it has to be with citrus and lime or lemon, whatever.
All right, Tom Garvey, explain that.
Seafood is hard to sell on YouTube. Absolutely, it is.
Because I lived on the East Coast growing up for the first 40 years of my life, and I lived in DC, and we had the Main Avenue Wharf, which is where all the seafood vendors was blocks from my house, and grew up on the Eastern Shore in the summers. We'd go crabbing, so that was, you didn't think twice. Now moving to Cincinnati, then to out in Milwaukee, it's a little less prevalent, but there's Lake Michigan right there, so I'm not that far away. But if we get soft shell crabs here, we're damn lucky, and they're probably about $30 a piece to get it, ship them across here. So as you move into the Midwest, less fish, certainly less fresh fish, less fresh seafood, but the coast and down the bayou, down in Florida and there, it's there's a lot more people who like it. But I never thought about seafood hard to sell on YouTube. Never thought about it.
It is. I have 1 or 2 videos on my channel with seafood. I don't think they did too good, not that I know of. But we know when I was younger, we used to do carne apache. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
Say it again.
Carne apache. Carne apache. Apache is an Indian. So basically what it is, it's ground beef cooked with lemon. And you add all your trimmings as far as onion, tomato, cilantro, whatever you want to add to it. And we used to eat carne apache. I don't know if I would do it now, but when I was younger, we used to eat that like it was freaking, I mean, it was delicious. It's almost like ceviche, but we use ground beef instead.
So I love raw, raw fish, not to say raw fish, but the sushi grade tuna, eat that all day long. I mean, I make poke bowls here at home. I make tuna tartare. But I grew up on seafood and grew up on fish, so that's different. But I'll have to go back and check my numbers on seafood because I never really thought about it in those terms. I guess shrimp is different because that's more ubiquitous throughout the country. I mean, shrimp is shrimp, and most of it's frozen anyway, so it can go anywhere.
Yeah, carne apache was more on the poor man's end, like a poor man's burnt ends, if you will. It was the same thing, but it was just ground beef. We would try to get the 95 lean. We wouldn't do the 2080, but it worked. I was a teenager.
So I'll ask both you guys the same question. Who's your favorite YouTuber that you watch, that you follow, that people may not know about? That people go, oh, never heard of that person.
Well, shit, that's easy, man. That'd be me. No, my favorite YouTuber, huh?
Well, I'll tell you mine, and it's Black Iowa. He's he doesn't have a big following, probably 300 or 400, but I love watching the guy. He cracks me up. He's cooking down, as far down a level as you can get, and he just enjoys doing what he does. So to me, that's an example of a YouTuber that I like, that I watch all the time, that maybe is not as well known to other people.
That'd be hard to say because there's a lot of good people that I follow on YouTube, a lot of righteous people. To be honest with you, the person that I watch the most, he's an outdoors channel. It's Outdoors with the Boys, I think he's called. It's him and his 3 boys, and he does a lot of Alaska, he's like a survival guy, you know what I mean? He'll go build igloo out of snow, and he does some crazy meals, dude. But that's a guy I watch. I enjoy watching him or Mark Weens.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's big time on YouTube. I watch those guys. I mean, everybody that I follow on YouTube, they got great channels, all of them, But my favorite, it would be it was called Outdoors with the Boys, I think it's called. He has 2 different channnnels, but
Outdoors with the Boys. Cool. There's I saw him on earlier. I don't know if he's still on. Is Dicking Around the Outdoors? You ever seen him?
I have. I think I have.
It's a great channel name. I mean, it's one of those $1 million names on $100 channel. The band at our wedding, we coined, it's the $100 band with $1 million name. It was Luther Gravy and the Soul Biscuits. And Dicking Around the Outdoors. There he is right there. Yes, he's still here. He's another one. It's a $1 million name on the channel. Dicking Around the Outdoors. Dicking Around Outdoors. He does a lot of cooking. He does a lot of travel around, mostly outdoors. And I'm fascinated with some of the stuff he does. He's going to be on interview. I keep calling these not interviews, these chats in a few weeks. So I mean, those are some of the people that I like. They're just interesting to me. They're like the people we've been talking about. Don't take themselves so seriously. Have a good time. You all make mistakes. We're always going to make mistakes. So now
let me get this trumpet comment real quick. Sure. He says Stacks Army, baby. If you follow Stacks, I follow Big Boy. Trumpet. And then Simon says Outdoor Boys. That's them. So Stacks Armies, it's this one guy. He's pretty cool actually, but I follow Big Boy. if you guys know who Stacks and Big Boy is. They're what do you call it? They're weightlifters.
Oh,
I'm surprised, Trumpet, that you follow Stacks, man. I would never think. Good one, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's just it's good to get these other channels I like to check out. But I tell you, I get a little feisty when I check channels out, and I go to them all the time, and I comment all the time, and nothing's coming back. Eventually, they're going away. I just, I'm not going to just sit there and, you put up 2 or 3 videos a week, always comment, and if there's nothing coming back, see ya. Because this is my morning routine. I get up in the morning and make coffee. I sit down while I'm drinking coffee, and I go through YouTube videos. And the comments that are coming back to me, I give them a heart and move on. So there's probably about 30, 40, 50 videos to go through.
That's all you have?
So you watch
I got over 100 people that I'm subscribed to that I kid you not, I spent like 10 hours watching videos.
Yeah.
And so I kind of gave up on leaving comments. I do watch the videos though. I do watch them, but I give up on leaving comments. It's just it's too many videos.
Yeah, I agree.
All day, every single day. It's a lot. It's too much for me.
It's really hard. But I almost feel an obligation, to those who are supportive of me. I feel I should be supportive of them.
Right.
And that's me. Of course, I'm retired. I got nothing else to do.
Exactly.
And then I do my Italian, and then I go play around and do whatever the heck I'm supposed to be doing during the day. But it's that morning routine of every morning going to check. I look and go, oh Jesus Christ, where did these videos come from last night? It's just one of those. So George, one of the things I wanted to ask. So you're have an Amazon affiliate? Yes. No. Maybe so.
Mm-mm.
No. So you're just monetized within the YouTube.
Yeah, in the YouTube. Yeah, my world's gonna change in three weeks. Work's gonna take over. Like I was telling you earlier, I work between 60 and 80 hours a week. I got one day off, which is Sunday. So my world is gonna be,
so you can be like
down from YouTube.
You can be like Black Iowa, just go on Sundays.
What happened?
You and Black Iowa can just go on Sundays and make videos.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My Sundays are valuable. My kids are out of the house already. But
kidding.
No, I got you. It'd be me, and my wife.
So what do you cook? What do you cook for pleasure when you're not making a video? You said, I think we're gonna have blah blah blah. Is there something that you go to?
Yeah. Yesterday I made spaghetti. It's my wife's favorite spaghetti. I do a lot of spam dishes.
I heard you say that earlier.
Yeah, spam with papas. We do a lot of spam. We love spam. Let's see.
Well, Lance, I'm sure, Lance, you had it when you were. Our generation had it growing up.
Oh,
right?
Spam.
Yeah.
Yeah, spam. But we were mostly. It was just my mom and I. So it was potted meat. Brussels sprouts, beanie weenies. That was pretty much it.
Oh yeah, Dicking Around went to the Spam Museum. I had a video a couple of months ago.
I'll be in Randy's world pretty soon.
We grew up on Spam, and I remember it. I was one of 7, and I think it was easier to open up a can of Spam and slap it on the grill and get a little caramelization. Go, oh, look at this, that's good. But I don't think we were eating Brussels sprouts. I would bet that we didn't have Brussels sprouts growing up.
They're so cheap. I can remember my mom going to the store and I couldn't tell you the prices of them, but I remember her just pulling that bag off that rack and just filling that bag up because it was just so inexpensive to eat.
The Spam?
No, the Brussels sprouts.
Oh, Brussels sprouts, yeah.
And that was your veggie, and I just it was, boil, and then throw some butter in there maybe, or salt and pepper mostly, but I can't even say I remember the butter, but I remember I would salt and pepper them because till just less than a year ago have I ventured back into Brussels sprouts, and I cooked them on the griddle with blackening seasoning, and they're edible, but for however many years, 50 years, 55 years, I never touched them.
I think I roast almost every vegetable. You name it. And it's pretty simple. Olive oil, salt and pepper, high temperature, get a little caramelized. And, they're all pretty good. You don't have to peel carrots. Beets are a little different because you got to eventually you can cook them with the skin on, but eventually you just got to rub the skin off. And then if you're not using golden beets. But I love Brussels sprouts. And have you ever gotten them on the tree?
No.
So they come on for lack of a better word, a tree branch about this long, and they got little nodules coming off, and that's where the Brussels sprouts grow. And they're bigger at the bottom, and the farther you go up to the top, the smaller they get. So what they do is they just slap down the side, a knife on each side, and that's what you're getting. So it's sometimes in some of the not specialty markets, but more what's the name of that place? Outdoor place. To see us. Anyway, so they'll sell the whole tree, but then you got to go home and chop off individual Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, no, I've never seen them like that. Never seen them like that.
Yeah, they got them over here like that.
I'm sure they have them out in California.
Although I made a pot pie the other day, and I bought a bag of frozen broccoli, and it sort of fit that description. It was these huge stalks, and there was hardly any flour on it at all. I was so disappointed in that thing. And I bought a whole big old bag full of them. No matter how I dug in there, I got these 6-inch long stalks.
So, George, earlier in the day, so I want to, for those of you on just checking in, what's going on, Charlie from Cooking Secrets for Men. That's George from 805 BBQ Junkies, and that's Lance from Sleeper BBQ.
Yeah, I wasn't supposed to be on the show. I'm here to actually show myself out. Actually, my wife just came in here. I need to be outside. There's someone stopped by the house and said my wife is known as the neighborhood pet lady, and there is a missing dog in the neighborhood that was just adopted today. So the dog does not know where it's at, where it's gone, where it's been.
Lance to the rescue.
Yep.
All right. Well, Lance will be sending out and thanks so much, Lance, for the giveaway of the towels and stuff.
Thank George. That was George's idea. I just am the one that's going to stitch them out. But I will say
coming from Lance. So congrats to the winners.
That I haven't checked my emails to see if anybody's responded yet, but don't forget to reply to that email. I will send my email one more time before I go off air here and go dog hunting. The only one I'm really concerned is that B&C. I think she stepped out.
Well, I think we'll figure it out. Don't trust me. If somebody thinks they won something, they'll figure out a way to get a hold of you.
Yeah, no, she's been around a lot lately.
Beth says she did.
Who did? Beth said she. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Beth's been here since the beginning, but B and C, I think she's in and out. There's my email again. Thank you, Charlie, for time on your live or George's live.
Yeah, thank you, Jorge. And
always a pleasure, Lance.
Brother George, we'll be talking again. Chat, thanks for the patience and the. It was. It looked like we were disorganized, but that's just the way we look. So we really knew what we were doing the whole time.
That's good.
I need to go out here and see if I can find me a little puppy. Do my part anyway.
All right.
So we'll see y'all later on.
Later,
All right, man.
So George, one of the things I talked to you about, we kind of talked earlier, was some of the recipes that I've seen on your channel that was just kind of taken with. And one of them was that meatball soup. I'm going to butcher this. Caldo de albondigas.
Albondigas. Oh yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that. So that
dish goes. Yeah, that dish goes way back. We usually do that on like parties, birthdays, a special occasion. I mean, it doesn't take that long to make, but there is some work behind it.
Uh-huh.
And albondiga soup, I mean, if I can make it every day, I would. It's a hearty soup, if you will.
And so now it's a little clearer to me after we've chatted that one of my other favorite videos of yours was the Mexican street tacos. And the reason is because that's what you used to do.
Yeah, I'm a taco man. Yeah. My business is called 805 Taco Man. I believe I have a website still out. It's an old website, but it's still out. I mean, now that we've talked, and now that I think about it, I said, okay, that's why they look so good. That's why they, guy knows what he's doing. I said, well, yeah, he knows what he's doing. He had a taco truck. Yeah. My daughters did a party last year in Santa Barbara, a wedding. I was just there to watch. I wasn't getting paid because I am under workers' comp. But yeah, they did great, outstanding. Because my family started the business with me, both daughters and my wife. And as I got bigger and bigger, I started hiring more people. So they know, I mean, everything, how to cook it, how it's so. When you have carne asada, beef, you go to a Mexican restaurant or anywhere, most of the time the beef is dried out. If you guys ever notice, right? You get a taco and that shit's dry. So I teach my daughters or whoever I train, don't cook the meat. I mean, fully cooked, but not where there's got to be juices left.
Sure.
In order for it to be juicy, you know what I mean? And that's what I stand out from other competitors. And not only that, I buy all my meat from Sam's Club. I don't buy it from a butcher shop or anywhere. I do it myself. Everything's from
Sam's
scratch.
Sam's Club commercial.
Right. I prep everything from scratch. I make my salsas, my beans, my agua frescas. Everything you see or you get from my business is from scratch. Nothing is canned bought, if you will.
That's one of the things that I like about the way that you cook is you're not just, no offense to all the barbecue people, you're not just someone standing out over a brisket for 9 hours and hooking up the hood and say, oh, let's take a look now. Oh, let's take a look now. I mean, you can cook.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's it, but it comes through. And now I understand why.
It makes sense, yeah.
It's
I love cooking, I love it. My wife just texted me a little while ago. I said, yeah, we're having because I made spaghetti yesterday, but it's gone. My daughter came over, she heard I was making spaghetti, and we all took it down. So we're having spam and eggs or some salsita, maybe some beans on the side. We'll see. But
if you need some spaghetti tips, just let me know.
Oh yeah. I want to do a smoked spaghetti. What's that?
Sono Italiano.
I'm
Italian.
Right on.
I forget the first time I saw it was New York Times. It was the Mississippi pot roast, which is the one they make with the pepperoncini and they cook for a long time. But you made Mississippi pot roast sliders, which
I did.
I'd eat about a dozen of those if I could. So I can't remember the entire video, but did you make the Mississippi pot roast and then you pulled it and make the sliders out of that?
No, it was one complete video. So I made the pot roast and then I made the sliders. That was the first time tasting it. It was different. After eating like 2 of them, I realized this is a gem right here. This is a truly gem. You know,
I've seen.
In the beginning, I didn't know what to think about it. I was like, wow, well, this tastes a little different. You know, it's vinegar based, you know. And I wish I had, if I would do it again, I would do more heat on it. A little bit. I like heat. So maybe some grilled jalapenos on the side or something to complement or to, complement the richness from the pork, you know.
Yeah, it's I've seen that done probably 100 times on YouTube, and the original came out, I don't know, in the 1980s or something. Right. Mississippi pot roast. It was a New York Times thing, and I've had it. I probably made it 20 times over the course of that. I've always loved it. It's one of my favorites. And then the other, let's see, chili rellenos stuffed with brisket.
Yeah, that was that was crazy. I mean, we love chili rellenos, and when I put that brisket in there, it just blew my top. It was like when I made brisket tamales. You know, I had made it the year prior, but I didn't record it. But adding brisket to it, oh man, it's just a whole different dimension there. You know.
So that's an interesting question to me. Do you? I think I know the answer, but do you pick a topic and decide I'm going to make a video, or do you say, I'm making dinner tonight, I might make a video out of that? Are you real thought out, or is it more spur of the moment?
I got to plan my cooks, my videos. Like, for example, I'm doing the frozen brisket coming up, right? So tomorrow I got to go buy the brisket. I got to plan my cooks. You know, I mean, I have meat in the freezer. I got ribs, chicken, pork butt. I got all kinds of random stuff in the freezer. I got picanha right here. I got a huge ribeye steak. But I wanted to do this frozen brisket, and that should come out. I don't know if it'll come out this week, maybe next week. You know, but we'll see.
So you put it in frozen? Say that again.
I said most of the time I gotta plan my cooks.
Okay, no, I'm asking you for this frozen brisket. Do you put it on the grill frozen?
Oh yeah. It's just an experiment. We were talking about it on I don't know whose live. I think it was Loverboy's live. We're all talking about doing a frozen brisket. So here's the idea behind the frozen brisket. Let's just suppose you got to cook tomorrow or you got a birthday tomorrow and you forgot to take out your brisket, right? So the next day you're like, damn, I forgot to take out the brisket. So what do you do next? How do I pull this off? You know, that's my idea. So do I trim it or do I try to trim a frozen brisket? Do I put a rub on it? How do I fix this problem? I need a brisket. You know what I mean? That was my idea behind it. So that's what I'm going with. You know, I got a very sharp knife, so I'm hoping that this knife will cut through the fat, trim it up a little bit, and then you got to be careful how you choose your brisket as well.
Right.
To pull off this cook, you got to go low and slow. If you go hot and fast, you might take the chance of burning the brisket, or I mean, there's all kinds of factors that come into it. You know what I mean? You got to plan this right. My plan is to cook it low and slow in the beginning, bring up the temp to render some of that fat. Do I wrap? Should I not wrap? Should I do a foil boat? It's an experiment that you just got to.
So you don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out. Tomorrow I'm going to go buy it. The reason I didn't go buy it when I was talking about it because I came down with the flu. I was sicker than the dog, you know, so I had to stay indoors.
Well, I think that to me is what sets you apart from a lot of people is that you're not afraid to try something. And the answer to the question, do you know how to do it? They go, I'm just, kind of winging it here. We'll see how it happens.
Yeah. The frozen ribs. I mean, we used to do that when I was back in high school, you know what I mean? Or in school, back in my days with all the boys, you know. Hey, at the spare moment, oh, let's barbecue. What's in your freezer? You know, it's all frozen. Well, shit, how do we do this? I'll just put it in there. It'll defrost, you know, eventually, you know. So
That's
I
wild.
know Scotty's backyard was gonna do a video, excuse me, on the frozen brisket as well. I don't know if he done it already or not. I know he did. I don't know if he posted it yet. So let me see. Scotty's first brisket came out from the T-Rex. Sal gave you, oh yeah, Alvin, Sal gave me the challenge. So when I did the frozen ribs, Sal left a comment. He goes, you should do the frozen brisket. And I text back, challenge accepted. So that's where it came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely, just an interesting supposition to even put forward. You know, what will happen if you cook a frozen brisket? It's just because there's so many permutations that'll come out of that you get. Well, what should I do? This and as you just were,
you know, Smoking Joe and the Dogfather did it untrimmed brisket, and their brisket came out fantastic. You know, there's videos out there that people have done it, but you can learn. Like for example, when I did my canca, I did the brisket on the canca. I didn't know what that was going to come out with it. You know, I had to figure things out. Well, see, when I come into a video, it's not like I know what's going to happen. You know, I got to do a decision right there and then.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So this is the brisket or the frozen brisket. That's what I got to do. Am I going to wrap it? Am I going to do a foil bowl? Am I going to do a Texas crutch? Or what am I going to do? You know what I mean? It just depends on the day of the cook. So
I think most people look at me and say, do you have any idea what you're doing? Yeah. Most of the time we're just winging it. Now, but there are a lot that I've probably made 100 times, and that's part of where some of the stuff I do. It's I've made this 100 times, and I've kind of perfected, making risotto in the microwave.
Right.
Is that the purists go, ooh, risotto in the microwave? Yeah, I'm not stirring for a half an hour. No, it's in the microwave, and it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Let's see if I have anything else for you. So are you a movie person at all? TV? Yeah.
Oh yeah, me and my wife are huge movie fans. That's all we do is watch movies all day long. When I'm by myself, because she's at work. When I'm by myself, I like watching. Like I watched Queen of the South, 3 times.
I love that show. That was a great show.
Queen of the South, I watched 3 times. I was watching the Mayans for a bit.
I love the Mayans. That's a great show.
Dude, you know they filmed that show by my brother's work in Simi Valley?
Oh, really?
The clubhouse is right by his work. You know, he's taking pictures and shit.
There should be another season coming out sometime soon.
I'm waiting, dude. I am waiting for the Mayans. And then with Jax, the other show, what was it? Sons of Anarchy? I've already watched that show twice. Yeah. You know, I do watch a lot of Cutthroat Kitchen series, with that guy, what's his name? Ramsey Hell's Kitchen.
You talking about Alton Brown?
I watch a lot of cooking shows, just to learn more as we go,
Yeah, I like I like watching cooking shows. I like tuning in, even though I'm not a baker. I like watching the Great British Baking Show.
Oh yeah,
that cracks me up. Paul Hollywood.
Name. He does cakes.
You talking about Paul Hollywood?
I don't know his name, but he had a bowling accident recently. I forgot his name. He bakes cakes. He's I just forgot his name, man.
Are you talking about who's one of the judges on the show?
No, he's not a judge. He actually had his own. There it is, Tom, Cake Boss.
Cake Boss, okay.
Cake Boss. I used to watch that guy all the time.
Yeah,
he had a bowling accident. So
Bobby Flay is I love Bobby Flay. Watched all his. As a matter of fact, the way he cooks, I tend to, to a little teeny part because there's only one Bobby Flay, but the way that you layer flavors. So for everyday cooking, learning from and watching his competition shows like Beat Bobby Flay and
Yeah,
Some of that I remember. You may not. Did you ever see the show Grillin' and Chillin'?
I did. It was him and this other guy.
Jack McDavid.
When they
Yeah,
first started the show. Yeah,
Jack McDavid in his
they had
overalls and Bobby Flay and his New York pretty boy.
Yeah,
That whole show was shot in one weekend.
Really?
Yes.
1 weekend. Wow.
1 weekend. All those shows, I think it was 2 seasons worth, they did in 1 weekend. So they had to have 20 changes of clothes, and they
right.
So we used to have, in the early days, gas grill and a charcoal grill, and so we'd have, you'll go over there with your gas grill, you would do the charcoal grill over here. But that's I think where I really started to like cooking shows. And I've got some they're on YouTube somehow. And it's just how silly it was at the time.
What do you think about Guy Fieri? Have you ever been to any of his?
He's more of a personality than.
You ever been to any of those restaurants he goes to?
Well, there's one here in Milwaukee called the Comet Cafe he went to. I think it's been when I lived in Cincinnati, I'm trying to think, it was the East Side Burger joint. But here in Milwaukee, this place called the Comet Cafe, it had a deconstructed Thanksgiving dinner. So what they did is they had turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing, and they roll it all into a ball and then deep fry it and then put it on some gravy.
Yeah, sounds delicious. Shit.
It was. It's decadent as hell. And they still have it on the menu. So deconstructed Thanksgiving dinner. And that's what he went there for. But other than that, no, I don't go out of my way to
here in California, he's done hundreds of them. In Santa Barbara, he's done a lot of videos. And me and my daughter would go, or me and my wife, we would go check out these joints. It's all hype. On TV, it shows you a massive sandwich, big old serving. But once you get there, that thing's like, what the hell is this? I paid top dollar for this, It's like, what the heck,
There was another show that was more of a production. It was called so when you get old, George, you forget stuff.
I'm there already, man.
It was where they made ridiculous size everything. And when they took like 5 pounds of ground beef and then wrapped it in bacon and then poured maple syrup on it and stuffed it in. So the things would end up being this big. Epic meals or something like that. But it was just, my boys used to watch that. And it was, so they tried to do the same things, only on a smaller scale. But I remember sitting in, we were up in Michigan, our place up in Michigan, and they're all with this combination of sausage and ground beef, and they're making lattice bacon wraps all around it. They're putting it in the oven. I said, you guys just spent $30 on, a science project. I wish I could remember the name of it. So.
That's a good word, a science project. Barbecue is like a science project, because most of my meals that you see on my channel, I haven't created. You got to remember, I came from doing tacos in a backyard barbecue. I was new to brisket. I'm still new to brisket, even though I love it, So most of the videos you guys see, I'm learning as I go. And I'm starting to get into like the real barbecue, you know what I mean? The backstory of it,
Well, don't give up your cooking, because to me, makes you more well-rounded.
If it was up to me, I'd quit my job and work in the kitchen for $10 an hour.
Yeah.
In reality, I can't. I got to get back to work, get those benefits, get that retirement going. My heart's in the kitchen, no doubt,
Right.
But we'll see. I did tell my wife once we get back to work.
Well,
excuse me.
So George, we've been on for about. Yeah, well, I wish you good luck with you. Miss you. We'll miss you on the YouTuber on the internet and the YouTuber. But I'm sure something will pop up every now and then.
Yeah. I'll be on there for 3 more weeks, and we'll take it from there.
Well, that's
I
right.
got 3 weeks.
Well,
to
I
party
really appreciate you taking the time to chat.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely, no
the
problem,
whole
man.
pre-show, and it's been a blast. So everybody, check out George 805 BBQ Junkies. I'm a Cooking Secrets for Men. Lance, who was here. Lance, who picked all the winners.
Right.
He's at Sleeper BBQ. And all the other people in the chats, thanks so much for your support, and glad to be here. Next week, it's In the Kitchen with Karen. Karen, she's another one. She's all over the place. And she cooks everything.
Right.
She's very prolific. And she's interesting. So she's a little bit different than George, but she's fun. All right, Mr. Tom Garvey. All right, George.
All right. Thank you guys, and everybody.
My brother, have a good one.
Man. Thank you guys. Thank you, Charlie.
See ya. Bye-bye.
See you guys later.